So what's a tennis ball, a balloon, and your identity have in common? That if you crack the surface, there's usually nothing behind it. I'm going to ramble about that for a minute on my way out. Let's see here. So ultimately, your identity, who you are, will inevitably change over time. If you haven't realized that, just think back to grade school and how you're not the same guy you were in grade school that you were in high school. And if you're older than that, college, your job, whatever, right? Your identity is not stagnant. A lot of us would like to know who we are, and the answer usually results in some genius idea someone gives, and our brain latches on to that identity, and that's kind of okay. What it reminds me of is the video game, if you've had the ability to play it, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, where you'd have, I think it was like 40, I heard it was 30 or 40 different masks you could put on. Yeah, Fierce Deity being a lot of people's favorite at the time, just due to the overpoweredness. But anyway, so the good news about that is that you can change who you are. The bad news is that sometimes you don't want to change who you are. Life is ever changing. Part of the issues that can arise from not changing is, first off, your parents. They'll always see you as their little boy, and so you're never going to get around that, right? My mom still thinks that there's a lot of food I don't eat anymore, even though I eat it now perfectly fine, just because that's not what I used to do. The other issue is basically, like country music and stuff. Now, I listen to country music now. When I was a kid, I didn't listen to country music at all. I almost decided to say I hated it. Now, truth be told, I never really hated country music. I still love George Strait and them. Okay, dude, are you going to go, or are you just going to stay on my tail? Apparently, you're going to stay on my tail. I don't like when people do that. Dude, back the heck off. Don't stay there. Anyway, sorry. So, when you're changing your identity, there are some components, that you want to have, right? First off, you want to kind of model, like, that I guess it can be from a book, a movie, whatever you want it to be from. You can do that, and then you start breaking down the components that your character model has, and then you work ever slowly to ingrain that into who you are with your age you're at. And again, it's ever changing. Nothing will stay stagnant, but enjoy it. Enjoy who you are. There are certain things I would still stay away from. Your drugs and your alcohol, your adult entertainment, if you will. Those are never helpful. You can tell that because everybody who's 60 has pretty much said they never helped. So you can take that to the bank, but at the same time, enjoy the identity that you create, because one day you're going to want to change it, and that's not a bad thing. So get out your Fierce Deity mask, put that on, and become the overpowered individual I know you can become. Until next time, this is Narrative Nomad out.